Tuesday edition. I'm going to introduce you to a good friend of ours, Adam, in a moment, but before we do that, I just want to give you some updates with regards to some of the things that have been happening with Raw. First update, unfortunately some bad news. We've had to pull out of the Wolf Run, the Junior Wolf Run. I know many of you are aware of this, but we've had a bit of an issue with regards to various things, and we're going to reschedule for September. So those Raw Cubs, do not fear, we will reschedule in September. Also, I mentioned in the last edition, we've got a new class coming, Disco Hit. It will come in the summertime. Just watch out for some notices. We look forward to introducing you to a new class with plenty of flashing lights, plenty of cocktails, but obviously with a bit of a fitness spin on that. Right guys, we're going to get into this. We've managed to steal Adam away from his busy job and his busy training. Adam, thank you for coming in today.
It's a pleasure, mate.
Thank you for coming in, I appreciate it. Now, as always, we're going to go with the Raw's theme of streaming 15. I've been terrible at it over the last few months. My 15-minute tends to take about 25 minutes. Okay, I tend to talk a lot of nonsense.
No problem.
We'll try and get that down to 15 minutes so you can get off to work. I appreciate you've got to earn a living. Adam, we've had two guests on before. We've had John on before, he's an ultra runner.
Yeah.
We've had Andrew on before, I think you said you'd watched his video recently.
Yeah.
He's an aspiring bodybuilder, soon to hit the stage. I think he's going to come back in a few months' time as well and tell us how he's done. But we like to get different guests on from different kind of walks of life that can effectively inspire us.
Right.
And of course, we've sought you out because we've been watching your journey, and I know you're very modest, but we want to hear all about it today.
Yeah, no problem.
Brilliant. So what I'll do is I'll fire some questions at you today, and we'll just go with the flow. We'll aim for 15 minutes, but like I say, we can be reasonably flexible. Okay. Yeah. Right, Adam, I know you.
Yeah.
I know I've known you for a few years. Our children go to the same school. You've joined us at Raw a couple of times. But for those of us that don't know you, can you talk to us a little bit about context, who you are, where you're from, just a bit about your life, really?
Yeah, I'm 43 years old. I'm originally from Nottingham. Boo, knots. I moved down here about 7 years ago with Lucy and the kids, got them into school, and yeah, just gone from there really. Just that's where we are. Yeah, that's where we are. Yeah. Always played a bit of football. Yeah. Always been into a bit of fitness. And just started running over the course,
which we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah.
So basically, I suppose you're pitching to us there that you're an average kind of guy.
That's an average guy.
Yeah. As we all are.
Yeah.
But with a special story that you're about to tell us about in a moment.
Well, yeah, special story. Yeah.
Okay. So with that in mind, let's talk fitness. So obviously, we were keen to get you on because you recently, a month or so ago, finished the London Marathon.
Yeah.
Massive achievement, something that I am envious of. I'd love to do at some point in my life.
Never say never.
Well, I'm hoping you can get me a slot. Talk to us about fitness. What's the journey been then? What from playing a bit of football, jogging to marathon? My
story really was over COVID.
Yeah.
We all had a lot of time on our hands. I was off through work. And I just started doing a little bit in the back garden, like a few weights and bits and bobs like that, getting Lucy to film me with, take photos of me in my pants.
Shout out to Lucy.
Shout out to Lucy, number one. Yeah, and I look back now, it's well embarrassing, but I was getting her to take progress pictures of me and everything like that. And then I just, because football was not on all the time, I just thought I'd get out there, do a bit of running. So I got my stuff on. Went out to run originally round Ruby because that was 5k was the goal. And I got halfway round and I didn't want it. I was done. You know what I mean? It's different. It was a bit of a mind blow.
So even though you played football, the running a 5k is very different.
It's all different bits and bobs. But I just thought I'd run a 5k. I've seen a lot of people on Instagram and stuff like that doing that, trying to get the 5k times down. I've never even done one. So. I went out there, gave it a go, stopped, and then I got home and I was like, I'm not doing that again, no way, not for me. But then a couple of days, like a day goes by and you think, do you know what, I've got a little bit of time on my hands, I'll go again. And then you carry on and on and on. And it went from there, and must have an addictive personality because I just wanted to keep getting better, and then you see times getting better, then you think, I'll go a bit further. And then before you know it, you're doing serious mileage, you know what I mean? But you know, I loved it, so I just carried on doing it, and it was making me feel good. And I was still drinking at the time as well. I packed up drinking. And it just kept improving, and I just thought, you know, this is for me, you know, so I carried on.
And with the 5k in mind, so just think about people that might be interested in running, that might be at that kind of stage at the moment. What's the jump? Did you go 5 to, as in, did you start when post-COVID?
I made a lot of mistakes. I made a hell of a lot of mistakes at the start. I was sort of like going out too quick and getting injured, and that was costing me like a week off, which was frustrating me again, because I'm stuck in the house, you know, because so I was making loads and loads of mistakes, basic mistakes that a lot of novice runners make. And then I started doing a little bit of research and trying to get more, like, you know, like trying to follow people on Instagram and Facebook who were like experienced runners, talking to people. I know quite a few people who are really good. But I didn't really listen, you know, it took a bit of time to sink in, so I sort of had to learn the hard way. But I kept going out further and further. When I got my injuries sort of healed up, I just kept going, starting again. And then I just started going further and further and further and testing myself, like, you know, it's a personal little battle, isn't it? You know? So that's where it was from that point of view.
And in terms of, I think you probably covered it a little bit, but in terms of the spark, right, so obviously, you know, we're aware that you've run the marathon. To go from 5k-ish, or not even doing 5k during COVID, what was the real spark that got you to go, you know what, actually, this is going, this has got, forgive the pun, this has got legs. I'm going for this. Because everyone needs that, that moment, don't they?
In all honesty, I think I surprised myself that I was actually alright at it. I always thought that I couldn't run. I just thought, running's rubbish. You know, it was like, it's not for me.
I suppose
because I've always played football.
And that's different because it's
completely
not sport,
different.
but actually,
well, I'm not a fast runner. You know.
Well, I mean, I find I don't run that often. Obviously, you know, as in, because I'm not a massive runner, but I find it can be quite boring. You know, if I'm not sticking the headphones in, and I suppose that's a bit of a battle for people as well, isn't it? What's kind of going through your mind as you're running? You got music in it?
Well, I started to run with music, and then after a bit, I found out that in big races and stuff, you can't. Well, some people.
Am I right saying you can have those like?
It's frowned upon, sort of.
Why is that?
I don't really know. I never really looked into that.
Well, there's your homework.
I did that. So I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to do it, because if I can master that, I've got to do it without in a real race. So what's the point in training with it? So you're gonna hit a block, aren't you, if you can't put your headphones in or anything like that. So it helps that I've got my own business. So I think about a lot of stuff and try and get a lot of stuff sorted in my head.
So you're almost planning your day's work.
I sort of plan my day's work. I think about a lot of things in life, what I want to do, where I want to be. I don't know if you just train your brain to sort of like, I sort of like have a rhythm in my head that I'm doing when I'm running. I'm sort of taking in, because I don't tend to run at a hard pace a lot of the time. I sort of take in what's around me, you know, have a look at what's the scenery, you know. So
take the scenic route.
There is a lot of things that you think of. I've got quite an active brain anyway as well, so I think about a lot of stuff, you know, and it clears me, and I come back and I feel ready to do whatever I need to do.
And with that in mind, obviously, I know we've spoken a bit before going on air, but you spoke about it being a morning thing, you know, and this is interesting. Like, I remember I watch a bit of boxing, MMA, and I remember watching Conor McGregor's documentaries, and he got a lot of criticism from some of his like sparring partners because they'd have to wait around for him, because he liked to train later on in the day, I think almost into the evening. What is it about the morning for you? Does that set you up?
Well, I've only just started going in the mornings, whereas I used to get my work done. I used to like to go, I tend to like to go for a walk in the morning, clear my head, get everything moving, get everything walking. And then I used to do my job, and then I'd finish around 3ish or something like that, and then I used to find that hour from 3 till 4, I can sort of get it done, and get it done in the afternoon. I just got into a routine of doing that. That's how it was. But recently I've changed it, because I've realised I've got a bit more time in the morning.
Yeah.
Obviously the weather helps, you know, when it starts to get summer, it helps. And I just feel like it's better to get it done there, but it's something that I've never done because I'd always done it the other way.
Yeah. But this is now working around your lifestyle.
Yeah, definitely. I'd rather now go and get it done in the morning. Go to work and then whatever what can be then, whatever can be. So
I suppose it's all about, isn't it, what works for your lifestyle, and we're all at different.
I'm very lucky. Yeah, I realise that I'm very lucky that I can do it in that amount of time.
Right, in terms of self-employment,
as in my job, as in working for myself. So I do understand that is, and I'm gonna grab that with both hands while I can. Do you know what I mean? So.
Fair enough. Big up self-employment.
Yeah.
Okay, right, Adam, talk to me a bit about, I suppose, I'm thinking about people that really wanted to kick on with their running. Now I know that indirectly you've managed to create a bit of a running club around Groovy, which is making me smile. So there's obviously quite a few dads now that are starting to get into running a bit more, and I think your journey into the marathons really inspired people.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your weekly routine in terms of, let's say if you're kind of prepping now as a half marathon, full marathon, I know it'll vary a little bit. How often is someone got to be training throughout the week? What's the weekly routine? If you're training to run a half marathon, London marathon, so we're talking 26 miles, aren't we? From 13 to 26 miles, whatever it may be. What's the weekly routine? How often do we have to be training to hit the sort of times that you hit? And what was it, about 3 hours?
Yeah, I did 3:48, which I'm well happy with. There's always something inside you that's you think you could have done a bit more, but it's a good target for me to start with because I'll definitely do a few more. So
what was the routine?
The routine really was, it's a bit I tried to get out and run probably 3 or 4 times a week. So it'd be like a couple of 6k, a couple of 10k's in the week, and maybe something a bit longer at the weekend. To get the mileage, get the mileage in. So
and when you
I was running about 100 miles a month. I was trying for 25, but I think I should have probably done a bit more to get.
I was going to say, so you were saying there to get the mileage in. Obviously, you've obviously done your research. When you say to get the mileage in, to train for a marathon, what sort of mileage should someone be getting in?
Well, me personally, I'm not by any means an expert, you know what I mean? No. So this is just for me personally what I was doing. I was probably doing 25, but you do have to do more than that. But with my lifestyle as it was, and I picked up a bit of an injury as well, I was doing 25. But you probably should be hitting 35, 40.
Is that what the tends to
I would tend to say that,
But what about this?
That's serious commitment, you know. But the reason it worked for me, I think, a little bit is because I've been doing it for so long.
It was kind of part of your life.
It was okay. I sort of got away with it, but ideally, if you're doing it in a shorter space of time, your mileage should be a lot more.
And what about this? Like I said,
that's one thing I'd do different. If you next time,
hopefully it'll be the New York.
Yeah, hopefully,
You know, in terms of when you are training.
Yeah.
You know, again, I hear people talking about, you train. You shouldn't train to. You don't run the marathon to train for the marathon, do you? It's about what sort of mileage do people train up to on a one-off? So do you get to like 18, 20 miles? Is 26 too far to do as a one-off run?
I wouldn't
train for a marathon.
I wouldn't say, for me personally, I never got up to that.
No.
When I was training. But I don't think there's any harm in it every now and again. If I don't think there's probably any need to do it in the training. But if you're doing it in general, I think you should. Hit them sort of miles.
And what does it feel like when you're, let's say when you pass 20, 22 miles and you're in those last 5-6 miles, what's your body saying to you?
It takes you to a little, it took me to a little different place, because I've not been able to get that extra mileage in. I do feel it cost me. I think if I'd have managed to get them 2 months in and put a few miles in, put a few more long runs in, it would have helped me a lot more. But it took me to a place,
a place where you'd never been.
It took me to a place, but I was ready for it, if you know what I mean. There was
like mentally.
Normally, when you're running and you're getting a stop in your head, there's a lot. Okay, I might. But there was something in there saying, "No, you ain't stopping, bro." Do you know what I mean? As hard as it was, yeah, it was tough.
Good challenge.
It was tough. Yeah, it was tough.
Okay, slightly different question for you, mate.
Yeah.
What barriers do you face in general when you're training? What sort of barriers, kind of?
Physically.
Yeah.
Niggles.
What sort of niggles have you had along the way?
Ankles, knees, calves.
And you can get that at any age, can't you?
Yeah, you can get that at any age, and you can just get it at any time.
Yeah,
you know, it just takes a bad time, doesn't it? Nutrition, I struggled a lot. It's something I probably should have looked into a lot more.
And when you say nutrition, do you mean the volume that you need, or?
Yeah, just general food intake.
Yeah. I guess you got to get loads more carbs in.
Yeah, it was hard because, like I say, we was talking about it earlier. It's like you've got a family, so you don't really want to be eating different stuff. But really, maybe I should have. I don't think I really understood the magnitude of what I was doing. I sort of just took it as you know. It's
but you understand it now.
I kind of understand it. It's just something that I would do different.
Yeah. Just like small
just little tweaks, little tweaks. But that's been the journey from the start. I told you earlier, when I did the Ashby 20, about a year or so before, I made a load of mistakes in that, and then I took it onto this. And
Well, we're saying you learn by doing it.
With running the London Marathon, I felt like I ran it a lot maturely than what I did. I felt in a lot better place than before, and I don't know if that's just how it works out. And you just carry on until I don't think you ever get it right, and you're ever happy.
I suppose it's like anything that you're almost serving your apprenticeship, aren't you? You know,
and the only way you can learn, mate, is on the job.
That's it, isn't it? You can take all that wisdom from people. You know, whether it's if you're an apprentice, you take it from your teacher or your mentor. Right? It's the same, isn't it? You're just applying the knowledge from elsewhere, but you've got to go and do it, isn't you?
And that's why you stick it into your training.
Stick
as much as you can into your training, and you'll reap the benefits of it. It's never easy. I don't think it's ever going to be easy to do one, but the way you prep, I think, is massive. And that's another thing that I probably just took because well,
it's the old cliche, and it's was it fail to prepare to fail?
Yeah. Well, I'm quite casual anyway, attitude. So it's just. I think it's just another thing of that, I probably should have took it a bit more serious, if you know what I mean.
But next time you will.
Well, I'm prepared to, it's something I've learned, and it's something that I've not shied up. It's not as if I've gone, I'm not going to do that again.
No.
And next time I go, right, I'll do that. So in hindsight, it's worked out all right.
Well, I look forward to the next announcement. Adam, onto the next question. We're starting to come to the end here now.
Right.
Just think about, and I know people will take some messages from what we discussed already, but if you could kind of give the listeners maybe 3 top tips to taking their training to another level, and that could be any type of training, don't have to be, long distance running. What sort of if you could give me 3, what sort of tips would you give to someone that's perhaps at the start of their journey?
Of any journey whatsoever?
Yeah, any fitness journey.
Don't underestimate yourself. Would be a massive one for me.
I like that.
Is don't ever think that you're not capable of doing anything that you want to do. Because if you really want to do it enough, that no one will stop you.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it's true. I believe that. It's something that I didn't realise how weak-minded I used to be. And it's not just the running. Like I told you earlier, I gave up drinking, which was massive for me. Never underestimate what you can achieve, because you're the biggest person who's holding yourself back.
Well, it's easy, isn't it, I'm not referring to you here. It's easy to make excuses.
Of course it is,
time. Where's my phone? I'll scroll from my phone for
half
an hour. You could go out and do a 5K.
And as bad as it is, we're all guilty of it.
100%.
And we're all looking for an excuse. I think as a human beings, we probably are quite lazy.
So don't underestimate yourself.
Do not underestimate yourself. Do not compare yourself to other people, because it's you, and it's strictly you. You're only you. And other people, and you're going to.
Don't compare your times.
No matter, not just times, just in anything that you do, because there's always going to be someone better. And
so don't underestimate
yourself.
Don't compare yourself to others.
Do not compare yourself to others, and make sure you enjoy whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Like fully enjoy it.
Yeah.
Don't do it because you think you should be doing it.
Yeah.
Get something and grab hold of it that you really enjoy doing and stick with it. And no matter if people think it's stupid or whatever, that'd be my top.
Mate, that is powerful. Really powerful.
Yes. You know, you live by that. You can't really go wrong with anything you do, can you?
No, it's powerful. I like it. Right, mate, before we finish off,
yes,
you'll see there's 2 cards here.
Here we go.
You can pick number 1 or number 2. And I've just got 3 or 4 questions on each, and I'm just going to ask you them really quickly. So pick 1 or 2.
Number 1, let's go.
Number 1, here we go. Right. Oh, I like this question. This is deep and meaningful. I think so. Who inspires you?
Who inspires me? Wow, that is a good question. Just got to give me a minute here.
This is no longer the quickfire round.
This is no longer the quickfire round.
Because it's such a big question.
I'm going to take over your 15 minutes.
That's all right. As long as you don't mind.
Who inspires me?
So that could be anyone that you know.
Or I'm thinking, mate. I know. I love Goggins.
He's already had a shout out on his podcast.
How can you not? His mentality is unbelievable. My children inspire me, mate. My children inspire me. You know, when the week after I've done the marathon, my jazz is coming out every night. Come on, Dad, let's go, let's get
so she's now dragging you out.
I've got my other older daughter. She's like just not long joined the gym. Esme does never shies out of like sport and stuff like that. So my children inspire me, mate.
Nice. So you kind of got there's certain people that you can take inspiration from that are perhaps renowned worldwide, but actually sometimes those people
they're right next to you, mate.
And we forget that.
We do.
I like it. Okay, second one. Who is in your? I think this is a Goggins phrase. Who is in your foxhole? So if you go into war, if you're going to battle, if you're going for that run, if you need people around you, who do you lean on?
Me.
Okay. I like it.
Because I'm the only one I can fully trust, mate. Me. When I go to the dark place, it's only me.
You against the tarmac.
Me against the tarmac, bro.
I like it. And your last one. I think I know this, but let's hear it again. What is your biggest fitness achievement?
My biggest fitness achievement, I've been doing the London Marathon, mate. Without a shadow of a doubt. Like I said to you before, I don't think I really understood, or still don't, to be fair, what I did. It was great. I loved every minute of it. I loved all the training. I wouldn't change anything. And you know, looking back,
and it's one of those, isn't it? That and it goes back to what you were saying about like don't underestimate yourself. It's one of those bucket list things, isn't it? It's like, I'd love to do that, but I can't just leave it there. I'd love to, but actually, no, you can do it. You can do it, as long as you can get in the ballot.
As long as you get in the ballot, or you can do it for charity.
And what sort of, with that in mind as well, I appreciate you may or may not want to shout out your charity. What's normally the minimum that you've got to earn to represent the charity? Because obviously
it was about 2,000 or 3,000, but I did it for the YMCA, England and Wales. Big shout out, and then was like 1,250. Something like that. So it's a reasonable, it's a good amount of money.
And how much did you raise?
I was just short of £3,000. You know,
quality.
Big up everyone who donated. Love you all.
Great shout.
That's another thing. I was took back by people's generosity. Like it absolutely blew me away.
And did you find the day? I think I spoke to you and Lucy about it before. We've been down to watch Amy's friend. Years ago, probably about 10 years ago, and I was taken aback. Just being in the crowd by how emotional it was. And I'm talking, I was cheering people on that obviously I'd never met, and I could see them hitting that wall, but you're so pumped for them, it's magical.
I had a nice surprise. Lucy had arranged for some people to come down that I didn't know, so I got about 6 miles in and they shouted, and I managed to see them, and they shouted.
Does that give you that?
Well, it did to start with, and then I ran off for a bit, and I had a bit of a wobble, you know what I mean? Because that was all I could think about. I was so buzzing they were there, and I was thinking, oh my god. For the first 6 miles, I was worried because I thought I'd left Lucy on her own in the middle of London. Do you know what I mean? To check round it. So
pretty busy around London. Around
6 miles was horrible. The first 6 miles was horrible because I was worried about her. It is such a special day. I mean, the last couple of miles for me was torture, but in a good way, because weirdly I think I kind of like that. That making sense?
Well, look, you want to challenge yourself, don't you? And that's exactly
that's what I always do.
And, like I said to you before, I've never done anything like that. And I'd love to take myself to a place where I've never been before, and that's what you've done, isn't it? You know, and you're saying that people can do it.
Over a period of time, it does take a lot of time, and it does take a lot of effort,
but it's well
worth it. Yeah, 100%.
And on that lovely note, we'll leave it there. It's well worth it. Taking yourself to a dark place. Taking yourself to a dark place and getting out of it. Mate, thank you so much for coming on.
It's been absolutely
I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to listening back. I think I might have rushed the messages at the start of the podcast, so just to shout again, just a few messages. Unfortunately, a bit of bad news. We've had to cancel the Raw Club entry into the June Wolf Run for various reasons, injuries, absences, etc. So we want to do it properly. We're doing it in September. I will send that again. Hopefully you can come, bring the kids, do the Junior Wolf Run. Right. I think it's in Leamington, the one in September. Okay. So I'll send more details out for that. It'll be a breeze for you. It's only 3 or 6k. You can still with your eyes closed. And also we have got Disco Hit coming. We're just ordering a few more bits. Ready to launch it properly. I think it'll be a Friday night. We'll have some fun with it. Almost take the Ibiza style rave into a fitness session, so we feel like we're still raving even though we're not in our 20s anymore. So do keep a look out for our new sessions that are coming. Bring out the glow sticks. Mate, thanks again.
Oh, pleasure, mate.
Thank you guys. Speak to you soon.